So good morning everyone. Today we're going to talk about the origin occurrence of earthquake. So in this presentation, it will give an enlightenment and also further explanation about the context regarding with this discussion. So let us start. So first is the origin of earthquake. So as we recall, an earthquake is what happens when two blocks of earth suddenly slip past one another. So the surface where they slip is called the fault or fault plane. So in a simple definition, we could say na ang earthquake is the movement of the ground or maybe the shaking of the earth. So it is caused due to the release of energy, and then this release of energy will tend to generates energy wave, and this energy wave will travel in all direction. So diba, so the question is, why does the earth shake, diba? So to answer this, let us first understand and examine what is really a fault. So in geology, fault is a planar fracture or discontinuity in a volume of rock across which there has been significant displacement, so as a result of a rock mass movement. So as you can see, this is a fault, so we can identify this as a fault. So a fault is basically a sharp break of crustal rock. So near the fault, there are rocks in which it moves in opposite direction. So to understand that, these are the types of fault. So first is the normal faults. So form when the hanging wall drops down relation to the footwall. So this is a footwall, and then this is a hanging wall. So the main reason why gitawag siya as the footwall is because it is murag matamaka nato, and then this is the hanging wall because it is beneath the footwall. So as you can see, na tatlo ka direction. First is in left, and then downward. Next is in the right. So next is ang strike slip falls. So have walls that move sideways, not up or down. So this is the slip occurs along the strike, not up or down the dip. So as you can see, a fault in which nasa direction in a opposite sideways, diba? So next is ang reverse fault. So form in the hanging wall moves up the forces creating reverse fault are compressional, pushing the sides together. So as you can see, mao na siya ang hanging wall, and then siya in upward direction, and then beneath niya is ang footwall. So next is ang oblique fault. So requires both dip of strike and strike components to be measurable and significant. So this is the hanging wall in which nasa in upper direction. Next is ang footwall which is nasa in sideways, di ba? So kabalo naman ta about the types of the faults. So now is we will understand the action of the fault. So as you see, this is a fault. Diba gingon og na is a fault. So near a fault, there are rocks in which moves in opposite direction. So as you can see, na ay movement na nag-occur. So from this, we could say na once kaning fault na ni will have an opposite movement, tendencies that mag-create siya or mag-generate siya of a friction. But at some point of time, due to this movement, ma-overcome ang friction. So it will lead to the formation of or the to the formation of the energy. So the energy itself will travel in all direction. So as you can see, this is the focus. So the focus is also considered as the hypocenter. So the hypocenter is a point of origin of an earthquake or an subsurface nuclear explosion. So the hypocenter is considered to be the origin of earthquake. So as you can see, kaning mga line na ni is gina-consider na siya as a fault. So this hypocenter or the focus will releases energy, and once it releases energy and mag-reach siya to this point of the surface, so ginatawag na siya as the epicenter. So the epicenter is basically, it is the point on the earth surface, so directly above the focus of an earthquake, or underground nuclear explosion. Compare focus. So in a simple definition, an epicenter is a point on the surface in which is near the hypocenter of or the focus. So to deeply understand, so let us take a look of this image of an lithosphere. So the lithosphere is considered to be 200 kilometers beneath the Earth's surface. So as you can see, na ay waves. So na ay ginatawag nga earth waves. So and then na siya two types. So first is ang body wave, which is mo ninyo makita ninyo, and then second is ang mo siyang surface waves. So mag-focus ata sa body waves. So the body waves travels through the interiors of the earth along paths controlled by materials properties in terms of density and modulus. So the main reason why nahitabo na body waves dire is because of the release of energy of the hypocenter. So basically, the release energy will be distributed in all direction. So once these body waves will travel to the surface of the earth, tendency is that magkaroon siya interaction or magka-encounter siya og surface rock. So once it happens, another set of waves that will be formed. So ginatawag siya as the seismic waves. So the seismic waves are the waves of energy caused by the sudden break of rock within the earth or an explosion. So take note na once na the wave reaches to the surface, tendency is that the velocity will change. Kay once it travels to materials with different densities, it will change the velocity. Kay diba, we all know dere nga in this part it has low density, and then in this part has a high density. So the higher the density of a material, it will resides downward. So therefore, the denser the material is, the higher the velocity. And also take note na always take note na kapag kaning seismic waves na ni will travel on the surface of the earth, the tendency is that in a surface of an earth, there is a low density, and also it will slow down the intensity of the wave. So that's the reason why the waves will leave behind the fault. So mao nang reason why na sudden occurrence of movement of the fault. So let us proceed on the seismic waves and identify its types. So these are the types of seismic waves. So first is the primary wave. So it travels faster than other seismic waves, and hence are the first signal from an earthquake to arrive at any affected location or at a seismograph. So as you can see na diba indication there. So this is the P waves. So as you can see, the P waves is the first one that will be recorded, diba? We all know that. So next is ang secondary or shear wave. So it's lower than the P waves and arrives next, shaking the ground up and down and back and forth, so perpendicular to the direction it is traveling. So as you can see, from the definition itself, we could say na the S waves will be recorded rather after the P waves. So next is ang surface wave. So it's a mechanical wave that propagate along interface between different media. So in surface waves, this is the part when maka-feel na jud nato ang kalinog or the movement of the ground. So mao to. So to give you an look kung unsa jud ang naong anig og unsa ilang direction. So I have an presentation, I mean an images. So these are their most ilahang nagdagway. So as you can see, this is a primary waves, and then ang direction ani will be back and forth lang. So mag back and forth lang na siya, and then sa secondary waves is will go up and down. Kasi mag up and down na siya. So mao siyang reason nga mura siyang naay wavy motion. So next is ang surface waves. So the main reason why it looks like this is because from this to this to this to this, di ba? It's because surface waves travels across the earth surfaces. So mao na reason why gina-consider siya as destructive and also could damage everything. So basically mo siya butterfly effect kay from the start na ay small changes, and habang gadugay na ay murag magdako na ang changes niya. So that's all. I hope you've learned something sa akong report, and thank you.